defenses, maybe other than CyberX, who definitely had a bit of a rough time last time. The one thing I will say, though, is that especially going on to FNATIC's attack, I really love how they have like these heavy utility post plants with Boaster and Brave AF. So I think that's something to watch out for. Obviously, not so much in the first half.
Well, definitely something to keep an eye on as we move through this map. But starting it out, the pistol round is going to see SMB on the attack. Now, for these guys, I guess you can say, you know, they're coming onto their map, their comfort zone, both in agents and maps and so on. We want to see them get off to a good start here on the attack. Pick up this pistol, get the wind in their sails. And yeah, Chewy's cheering for that one.
I would be worried for them if they didn't. I managed to do well on their attacking side. It's something that they did even versus Ascend, so we know that it's there for them. And already, Durka's looking to try and challenge aggressively when it comes in towards that early B control.
A little bit of a skirmish in the early round. They're going to give up that B main. Well, you know, FNATIC, I thought they were going to give it up. Durka started to take a couple of steps towards it, but you know, they've bailed back, sitting in a pretty standard defensive position. The weight is on SMB to make a move. That drone actually going to catch Boaster. And he's in a lot of trouble now. Low on ammo, if nothing else, but that grenade's going to buy him plenty of time. And they've now spotted 3 players inside of mid, but that doesn't help Boaster. He's walled off and isolated, taken down. Now the site's pressured. And although this shock dart grabs the first, Durka is still unaccounted for, lying in wait in the back of the site to at least grab the first. Plenty of damage being done as he dances left and right, even catching a headshot onto Zistow. The damage is massive, super massive, and SMB are in trouble, but they've returned a couple of kills. A quick headshot onto Magnum, leaving Mystic to do it all. The body shot's more than enough. He's looking the wrong way, but he turns just in time, but is out of ammo. He'll be caught by a 6 HP Zistow. What a back and forth round, but in the end, SMB take the cake.
The funniest thing as well is that Mystic could have just left, because they'd left the spike all the way back towards, like, well, exactly where we are now, just outside B. Like, they didn't bring it with them. Like, look at the spike on the map right now. They're fighting in a retake where there isn't even a spike to be planted. It's definitely a weird one, but I feel like Supermassive players are going to be quite happy with how it ended up.
Big oversight by SMB though. Yeah, to leave the spike behind. I think they're gonna be thanking their lucky stars to still get that win on the board. Of course, from FNATIC's perspective, how are they supposed to know?
Yeah, who does that?
The spike's there, you know. they make the right call and running in. Thankfully for SMB, there's a shorty for Mystic, and I'm almost glad that he got taken down. Trying that, Magnum meets the same fate as well.
Yeah, a good opportunity, of course, for Supermassive Blaze to just build up some finances. Not really much invested at all. You got Brave AF just bringing in a Sheriff. Other than that, as you said, it was the incredibly cheap shorties that, well, we're trying to get a cheap couple of kills playing around the edge of the smoke. For now, though, again, one of the things I've quite liked in the anti-ecos, even though they've definitely had their issues with them, is just the patience of Supermassive Blaze. They're not just blitzing into a site, like, not worrying about stacks. They're actually taking their time and making sure they clear everything properly. And while Boaster, oh, he might actually get one here. He's
last player standing. Strike down A.
Nasty. The one loss is fine though for SMB. They'll take it. It's just a fashion that they lose it in. It's always regrettable.
But it's just annoying as well, because they did everything right clearing the site, and they just didn't expect that 2 players would aggressively push up and the other one's just going to sit under balcony and almost just bait the living hell out of them. But in these sort of rounds, it really doesn't matter, and they've got their flank firmly covered. So I think the chances are they may not even face off against Brave AF in this sort of scenario and almost just look to allow him to die to the spike. No real value in risking any of their own weaponry for what will be a Sheriff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
obviously,
not again.
You know, you'd be happy to get any old points.
Okay.
Number 1 enemy there. Luckily not going to take him down because Zistow's dead, leaving Brave to survive the turret at least for a moment.
Yeah, still a couple of kills, extra orb. It doesn't make that much of a difference. I think both teams are going to be fairly happy with how that round ended up. And actually, I was about to say, like, Brave bought straight in with a rifle. I was thinking that might be a little bit bold, but it does seem like they're going to invest rather a lot into this one. And actually on the couple of players that maybe don't have the credits to do so, not really dropping anything extra over, just allowing Zisto to almost attempt to be that hero in this scenario. Now, in terms of ultimates, nothing really that close. And of course, for FNATIC, this is where they should get going.
I can definitely agree with the hero rifle play here for SMB. The thing that I'm not a big fan of is the fact that that hero rifle is playing on the other side of the map by itself. I'd much prefer to at least have that player there to back him up. But they're getting off to an okay start. Oh, that's so much damage from Boaster. You could see that second kill was coming. There's no way you survive that. A fragment taking 2. And while SMB's chances, they start to dive pretty quickly in this one. Already 2 kills, though. That's good considering the weapons that were in those fights. Now we come back to that rifle that's been sat here trying to peek out on short and take those fights on mid in the early round. Nothing given to him. Zistow's got to create his own opportunities walking back into the site, and there's one. Look, even one more kill now. This is winnable at this point with the spike down and the players completely separated. If nothing else, it's at least a massive amount of damage being done to the economy.
Yeah, we've seen it in the previous map. This man in clutch situations, oh, he definitely has his moments. A little wary about some of the other angles to be cleared, but it's mainly just this fight versus Durka. If he can win it, he has a chance to steal the spike away, but may not expect the wraparound from Magnum. At least there should be a trader, but he doesn't allow him the time to actually get up above. Magnum not quite expected, but as you mentioned, that's a lot of damage done in this round. And, well, FNATIC, they're only going to survive with that singular rifle.
You got a hero rifle and a couple SMGs, and SMB pull it back into that position, a 1v1 in the end. Gotta be damn happy with that. Great third round connected, and FNATIC now need to invest all of their economy into this round, and even then, they're not gonna have fully automatic rifles, let's say, because, oh, that's such a nice setup. Because they're, I think, there you see it on your screen, 3 Guardians, yeah, and a Spectre to play with. This is a really tough 4th round.
The setup's there, though. We've seen how much damage they've been able to do with nano swarms, and although there is a lockdown being put into play, and it seems little chance of denying it, at least in time. And actually, Magnum's got to get out of there. I was about to say, I think they were expecting something to come through and destroy it. Instead, though, they've still been able to deny just the space. So even though they had the lockdown, they didn't actually manage to take the site before players have already pushed back in.
It's a piece of KO utility countering an ultimate. That is actually insane. Magnum picking up Glow. They can't even get to this site, just being wall banged down. Oh, that was tough for Brave. Only the one to be found. Cider on low HP, and Izzy, well, he's not doing too well either. Cider being scanned up, tagged up. Yeah, it's going to be left down to just the jet of Izzy. A big clutch needed, a 1v4. Already the first found, but too many players just rushing towards him. My God, what a round from FNATIC. That is truly remarkable. Seeing a lockdown and they want to run out at the last second, and nade goes down, and that's it. Your ulti is useless.
But that is the thing with just KO in general. It seems like more and more abilities are just coming out that are just going to completely screw Killjoy mains. And I know that Average Jonas has a fat grin every time he thinks about it, but it's just irritating because not only do you have the ability that has such a large radius for destroying the lockdown just with the amount of damage it takes, but then you could also just do what Boaster did there, where it's like they think, oh, we got away with that one. They didn't destroy it with a few seconds left. And instead, he just denies them pushing onto the site. And by that point, Magnum's already on the site again. So they didn't even clear it at all.
And now it's just pistols for SMB for the most part with Izzy on a Spectre. And maybe he'll be able to grab a kill and fight up for the Blade Storm. But that's pretty much best case scenario right now.
What? What?
Look at this. That's just absolutely filthy.
Did he even see anything there, or did he just spam?
No, you just spam down.
Okay.
You
cool.
ping the corner of the wall, just start spraying. You know, I've seen that done with an Odin before.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Cold Amanda's been bold enough to do that, but you rarely see somebody just blind spray a Guardian and see what happens.
He is the wallbang king. Like, we saw him on this map where he did the same thing on a short through the wall after the door went down. That was ridiculous, and it seems like that's what Brave AF does in his spare time. It just works out ratting through wall bangs he can play with. Durka looking like he's just going to hold down the position, and they've even put in a lot of utility just to deny that extra space, the null command, to make sure utility can't do too
30
much. And
seconds left.
well, the Bladestorm is online, but at the time, Mitch, is it worth it?
I mean, they know that these players are coming in through short. They saw the spike drop just a moment ago, fought for the control. At this point, for SMB, I don't think you commit that ultimate. Certainly not when that player has the rifle to play with. Is rushing in towards the site, but even getting this plant now should be
10
impossible.
seconds left.
10 seconds, they can come through the wall.
Spike down A.
And I meant the cosmic divide, but then I saw, yeah, Brave Af was on short as well, so he can come through the wall quite literally. So there's a lot of problems there for SMB, and they end up 3-2. But they'll get their buy up. You know,
Yeah, these last couple though have looked kind of scary. Like just in the manner in which FNATIC have been able to win them. Like that round, sure, they did throw a couple of ultimates in, but I also think they're ones that realistically, if you use to boost your economy, I'm almost completely okay with it. They've got the finances to buy into the next round. They now have the operator as well. So I want to see an almost instant response from Supermassive Blaze. Otherwise, I'm going to start worrying about them, because for them, I believe if they lose today, that's it. They're in relegation.
Yeah, they could be facing a loss of their spot in VCT. Just certainly a lot to think about while you're playing. You know, it's going to be in the back of your mind whether you want it to be or not. I say whether you want it to. I don't think anyone wants it to be in the back of their mind. So,
I really like a challenge.
guys, we might be knocked out tomorrow. Let's go. I don't know. People get motivation from strange things. We got 1:10 on the clock left, and SMB definitely want to crunch in through short. 3 players tucked up outside here, and it's going to be a challenge for Boaster, but he's got a teammate coming to help him. In fact, there's 3 players here around the short area to cover that cross. And now they've no reason to move because they've just spotted a whole bunch of players on short.
This is, again, just the information play of both of these agents just gives so much over, although they looked for a second. I guess they were a little bit wary in case someone had somehow managed to get through mid. 35 seconds up and coming on the clock. They're actually going to use the Hunter's Fury, and it tags Boaster on the way back. He actually almost runs into that one, and that gives them the opener into the side. But do they expect Brave to be here? Just spams through and gets the second? What?
After that start, the recon followed up by the Hunter's Fury. That's such a great opening for SMB. They're on the back foot yet again somehow. The man named Brave is just taking it. Oh, come on,
Who does
Durka.
this? Who does this?
Durka, stop it, man. He's just, oh, they're so distracted. They're staring at this off. It's just spraying away up in heaven that Magnum's able to grab the flank. Brave Af goes down, though. The Battle of the Braves allows a res to come through, but they're holding the body, waiting for the res to come in. With 20 HP left, Brave's going to run for the hills. A heal not possible just yet, and they're defusing. He's got to go forward, got to take these fights, and Mystic will take him down, putting SMB down even further. Behind by 2, economy in trouble. Things are looking scary for this attacking side.
There's so many things that would just irritate you. One, the fact that a Brave AF gets a spam kill just shooting at a smoke, and then there's a guy in the smoke and he kills him as well. Like this second one, it's just like, what? I don't know how Glove doesn't get the trade. And then the even more irritating thing is just watching Durka for a full like 20 seconds just no scoping a Sage wall, which just all right.
I'm so confused. I was looking at it thinking, well, that's not about to break, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe Durka knows the damage more than me. No, he's just spraying away. But it's great because you literally see, like, was it Cider X walking out of the site staring at heaven? Because he's like, he doesn't know what's going on. Why is this guy just spraying?
Oh, that's the Bladestorm gone off the back of the 0 point. Obviously, he'll come back in a few seconds, but it means that the initial push, the space taken, any utility used is just reduced to nothing. And they're going to try and go for a fast split in towards this, but they're facing off against the operator. The Bladestorm also then gets absolutely nothing done, and Magnum's just waiting on the other side of the smoke.
Yeah, that right click not working out. That's big blow. Their entry potential essentially gone. And as you can see, nothing to go the way of SMB. This is going to be a clean, well, almost a clean round. Only the one player lost. Really nice connection by Cider X, but too little too late. That's 5-2. FNATIC's defense really off to one hell of a start. I'm just looking at the scoreboard there, and, you know, it's been very tangible, the impact that Brave Af's been having. But Mystic up there, 10-4. I feel like he's almost stuck under the radar a little bit.
Silent killer. Yeah, he's had his moments. I think he was in the while we were watching that wall being spammed with no scopes, Mystic got a triple kill. So there's been a few moments where we've been distracted by just maniacs doing other things that we kind of forget about the kills sometimes.
It's been huge, and having Mystic off to a good start like that, you compare and contrast that to his counterpart on SMB. Glove has not had an easy series so far. I think he's had a rocky.
It's not had an easy tournament.
Very true. Very true. When it comes to this map so far, especially, it is underlined. You know, this is only a couple of rounds, though. Still plenty of time for that to take a turn. That's what we want to see. For now, 5-2. A push is going to come in towards this B site. Dirk has already picked up the first, and he's primed and ready to find another. Not only that, he's got 2 players ready to swing afterwards, so he can feel pretty comfortable to go out aggressive like this. It's a wide angle. It's not one you're typically going to want to be holding in this sort of scenario, but with this much backup, why not?
And the thing is as well, their own wall has meant they can't go anywhere else. So they can't push through, so no one needs to cover it from FNATIC. They're just holding short and making sure that they can't swing through this angle. So again, the time starts to tick, and Izzy has to try and make a play, and that's the problem. If he's not finding the opening for them, there seems to be nothing else.
There's no panic as well. Durka takes that shot, doesn't even dash out of there. Brave with a little bit of a curious decision, walking out.
They've got the spike.
Cruising towards spawn, but they got the trade, they got the spike, and now they've got the round. I mean, there's 13 seconds left, and Glove plays about to be caught. We were talking about Mystic versus Glove in terms of how this early game is going for them. Well, there's a direct comparison.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. Like, of course, players at the top level are always going to be switching their roles, agents, especially when you're on a team like Supermassive Blaze with so many different, like... Yeah, I think the main worry for them as well is in the game they played versus Ascend, their attack was stellar. Like, they had a really good performance, and then going onto the defense, it was a little bit weaker. And sure, like, you could probably argue in the other direction that I think that FNATIC have a really good defensive side of this map. Like, I've enjoyed watching like how they're using all the KO combos alongside other abilities, alongside Sova as well, like to almost get them that early information. The worry, though, is you haven't seen anything since the pistol and second round from Supermassive Blaze. It's, what, 6 rounds in a row now? Like, something has to change.
Unlikely to be in this round with the pistols, but we'll see. The pace change maybe to catch them off guard. SMB starting to make their way towards B have now completely isolated Durka. He's stuck inside of main. That's the operator down and retrievable. They've got a player inside of main who's picking that up. But look at the HP, and with Cyrax falling, that's the retrieved op, and also the only player north of kind of 30 HP. Brave will get a heal up. Oh! Tracing right behind him the whole time is like an action movie. Oh, the shock dart. 26 health now.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't even know what he's going to be able to do in this one. Again, an extra kill would be nice. They're just hoping that maybe someone overextends, tries to bait out of rotation. The fact is, though, over the last few rounds, Supermassive Blaze have basically just done the same thing. They've gone for a B split. They've tried running through that mid push multiple times, and it's no surprise that there has been players watching it. In fact, I correct me if I'm wrong, I think in the last like 3 rounds there has been a 3-man stack on this B site. So I don't know if they're playing a game of chicken with FNATIC where it's like, nah, you won't do that again, but there's no reason for them to change it just because of the amount of information that they're able to get off this double initiator setup. So I almost want Supermassive Blaze to maybe play a little bit slower in some of the early rounds. The problem though is that obviously all of that utility cycles, so FNATIC could just get the information again a little bit later on.
What I don't mind at all is how aggressive they're being up through mid. I think that that's fantastic. They're getting market control in the first 20 seconds of every round. But, I mean, the round where Boaster was there and expended all of his utility, what he got with a 1 kill, and then they're able to overwhelm him. Like,
oh, the pistol.
Yeah, but the actual market hold itself hasn't been great. The problem is they can't get to sight. They're running through that doorway and being mowed down every time.
Even with a lockdown, they didn't manage to get the sight. Yeah. So that's why I'm almost perplexed. That's why they haven't gone the other way. And well, it's not the craziest prediction for Brave that they're currently in B main. Like we, as said, that's been their almost port to call every single round now, or like the last few at least. Res will come through. That's something They can at least garner, and okay, they've caught out Durka, expecting him to be here. Again, there's going to be the lockdown put into play, although... Okay, there's actually just going to be the counter on the other side. So again, B-site's not going to go to their control, but this was all a bait.
Yeah, SMB knew full well that second lockdown will come into play. Now Boaster's got to go huge in the corner. He was going to flash for a moment, but decides against it. They're distracted by Mystic, and no! They have no idea about Boaster! The triple is there for the IGL as FNATIC pushed to 8. Oh, that is so bad for SMB, man. Everywhere they go, they run into a stack setup. FNATIC are 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of them.
Yeah.
Minimum.
I also think it's been quite easy for them to have these reads with just the utility that they're putting down elsewhere. And the fact is they've never really given up short control unless there's been some other reason. Like, for example, they know for a fact that Supermassive players are all the way down mid. So, yeah, it seems like FNATIC are doing an incredible job of getting information, and while Supermassive Blaze are just running into the blender every single time.
Shock does damage, and a missed
Okay.
shot out of Durkin. 9 HP as he falls back. Look, SMB, they get a little bit of early control. Again, they push these guys back, but that has not been the problem. They have had no issue with taking B main, taking market even. As I said, it's these choke points. It's getting onto the site, which for an attacking side, you know, that's not something you want to struggle with. They got 2 chances to at least push this up into a more of a recoverable scenario for the next half. And with this being their map pick, I mean, I would say they need to win out on both of these. Good damage done here as well. Look, Boaster and Durka are both 1 HP.
Yeah, this might be the first time in this game that they actually wish they had a Sage, but they don't. Space taken. Boaster still at the back of the site. Needed to be cleared. Brave has also rotated in. It's getting a little bit awkward. The problem, though, is that they found all of this space in a round where they only have pistols. However, they are going to start retrieving some... Oh, it's just the edge of it. Just slightly catching it. Brave with another sider gets another kill. So again, a chance for a plant, chance for some weaponry. It doesn't mean they're going to be able to take the round.
Yeah, look, that shot was well placed, but big performance needed by Zistow to close that one out. 4 kills for Brave out. One with a shock dart onto the planter. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if we can get a slow-mo replay of that. Maybe some zoom-in action. But that Sage was not in the shock dart. I don't know if her elbow was. Like, at worst, she's singed a few of her arm hairs. I think that's... But it was enough.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. And as I said, this is probably one of the first rounds they've actually managed to get the site. And it was one where they'd... Oh, it's because he has 0 point... Like, it was his toe. It was... I think it was his toe was in there.
Yeah, it looks like it. Genuinely, I don't know. I don't know exactly... we'd have to see it in slow-mo, but I reckon if he turned a little bit, he might have been okay.
Probably.
You know what I mean? It's
or maybe
horrible.
the ponytail would have got shot.
Oh, that's so terrible. Well, 9-2, we've ended up. SMB really having a tough time here on their map choice. 1 round left to play for. Durka is not deterred from the aggression.
Yeah.
Normally, you know, you say you use that drone to counter a jet op, and Durka's like, drone, I'll push. This lunatic.
Oh, okay.
Nice
And this
kill.
time they've actually managed to catch Brave. This is the first for everything, it seems. Actually getting themselves onto the site. A chance for an afterplant. They did lose Brave, though, so at least some of their stopping power is gone. And they've also got Ciderex just making sure there's no one on the flank. So this will pretty much give them the information that there's no one coming from behind.
It's pretty
Why?
Why?
So my question here is,
Tom, quite a simple one. Why?
why they Hunter's Fury? Because now they don't have that to stop the defuse. That's just one extra tool, one less tool for them to play with. Mystic able to grab one here, but that's all. Glove luckily shuts it down. It's just a strange decision.
Okay, Mitch, I think you know that mic thing you had the other day where it randomly turned you into a robot? I think that's just happened again. So we had that round casted, at least from my perspective, from KO, but I'm sure Mitch will be able to reset things very quickly. However, 9-3, and we've called it a curse many times before, but this would have to be one hell of a performance now from Supermassive Blaze. They pretty much ran into a brick wall the entirety of that half, and in reality, I'm not sure I believe in that comeback this time. Now, if they can get Izzy rolling on the defensive side, there's definite possibilities. In the last couple of rounds, we saw exactly what that man can do, shutting down Durka and B main, getting that little bit more aggressive into the site, but those were few and far between in terms of rounds. Well, now at least. This could be a little bit of early presence taken over towards A. Actually, pretty much pushing all the way up. I don't know if that 0 point might have actually caught them as they push, but either way, it seems like the reaction out from FNATIC is to start to look towards that B site. Be a little bit more patient. Izzy, though, he's going to get a free one. And actually, it's Mystic to go down. That's the majority of any utility that they would have had for a setup. And there's a wall actually blocking them off as they attempt to make it in towards the B site. They got to break this as well, because the drone's coming through. Durka, though, just so quick at finding himself that initial pick. And they're going to close the door in the face of Izzy. Still, though, 2 players to the back of site, and it seems like they might be aware of this. They're going to try and push towards Izzy. He's going to get caught out. No dash available. As they're going to look to now wrap back around in towards the A site. It's the classic around the world strategy. However, it may not work out. Cider catching one glove in a good position, but again, just Durka too quick. It'll get his 3rd of the round, leaving just 2 players remaining as they now have to try and retake an A site, which was taken from their own spawn. Now for Brave. On the SMB side, he's got to try and take some space. The turret will spot them out. Magnum still manages to win that duel. And now Cider X in a tough clutch situation, one that they almost seem to need. He connects onto the first, has to take down Timmy just for a chance at survival. But everybody now desperately low, including himself. 40 HP to try and make this one work, and an elevated repeat possible. He needs one of these kills quickly. He gets the first, but Magnum is there with the trade. Close for comfort. And a special strat, we'll say, from FNATIC, but it's still going to be their pistol round. Mitch still hasn't come back. Just talking to myself as per usual, but you know, 10-3, and that could easily be the nail in the coffin. That's the problem, and it just seems to be the second Durka's HP drops below like 40, the man just doesn't miss a shot. 3 kills off the back of it, and I think Mitch has returned. Are you still cosplaying KO?
Turret out.
I can hear you. It sounds very good to me, so there you go.
All right, fantastic. You never said I sound very good before, so thank you.
You don't sound like KO.
The confidence boost. Are you saying KO doesn't sound good? Wow, I see how it is. Yeah, it looks like everything's sorted on my side. Sorry about that, folks.
He doesn't have feelings. I can't hurt them.
I think it might have been a cable I kicked out. I don't know. There's some sort of software thing.
See, you actually had the excuse of blaming Chewy, and you didn't. I respect it.
Yeah. Damn. That would have been a play. Oh, what the hell? My dog just ate my cable. Like, I guess things haven't really been too surprising while I'm away. We're seeing SMB on pistols when I come back, and FNATIC comfortably with some SMGs. So I'm guessing the pistol round went to FNATIC, and so did the second by the looks of it.
Drone. So it would have actually got the kill onto Brave AF there, and now they've got a second and even a third flank attempting to come through. Yeah, you missed around the world. It was basically a play that they went through the B site all the way back around and then planted on A. It was a weird pistol round.
I like a weird pistol round every now and then. It's a nice clean one to follow up afterwards. FNATIC 11-3 in flawless fashion, and that means that they're going to be playing a bonus in the next. Tom, we didn't have a lot of faith in SMB coming into this series, but I'll be honest with you. After Icebox going the way it did, and SMB putting up a very impressive, especially defensive side, I thought they looked fantastic in their retakes there. And the rounds they lost were very close, but they move on to their map pick, and, well, Tom, I might have been onto something saying FNATIC chose this, you know? It was a slip of the tongue, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a team that right now doesn't know how to play versus the sort of Sova KO meta. Like, I think they're really struggling with the amount of information that's there, and their sort of gamble plays just aren't really working out. Good start, though, for Izzy. Is going to be able to get that initial pick. Of course, this is the bonus round of FNATIC, so it's one that we expect Supermassive Blaze to win, and in fairly dominant fashion. Did he just dink him there? Like that random spray of a couple of bullets. I think that actually dinked Zisto.
It may well have done. He's certainly on low HP. FNATIC have got not that much control really when you look at the B main is walled off right now. They've not been able to push anywhere up near mid. And SM, oh no, they're pushing down. The timing is good though. Just as BraveAF turns away with that Guardian in hand, down he comes with Izzy taking the control over mid. Boaster's faking it out, making lots of noise, doing some decent damage too. But the hit's coming in on B, and now the information is going to be given away. Izzy's going to start the flank. All Brave has to do is stay alive here. But that's not very easy when you're trapped on the site, though.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, Izzy's done a decent job of it. Oh, okay. Nice couple of kills for Brave. Someone who I'm sure in this sort of scenario could use a little bit of a confidence boost with the current scoreline. Although he's currently top of his team, which is maybe a little bit of a worry. That we saw some incredible performances out from the likes of Zisso in the last map. Gone deadly quiet. I still think that Glove is struggling. Although I do admit, as you sort of said, like, being that sort of lurking player a lot of the time as Astra, it can be really tough, especially with how much information and space FNATIC were able to take. On this defensive side, though, if he's still struggling as much, then maybe a role change is needed.
Sure. This is really where the defensive side starts, though, right? Rifles in the hands of every player. Ulti's starting to come online. Very volatile stage of the half, and this is where FNATIC, you know, with 2 rounds left, they'll look to make the most out of it. One of the earliest lockdowns I've seen in quite a while. That's going to be used both in early round and early half to drag a full rotation from SMB. 4 players on A, 1 pushed B.
What?
Where? Why? How? Look, it was up in A heaven. A double kill with the shock darts. BraveAF then wallbangs Glove. This man has absolutely no right to be this good.
I don't even know what he did. I'm waiting to see it on the replay. Yeah, they must have had some sort of setup play on the players that were hiding from the lockdown at the back, but that's absurd that they have that in their back pocket. And, well, now for the remaining 2 players of Supermassive Blaze, they've got a lot still to do. They can try and wrap around through heaven. So got the door open, it seems. Zisto gonna try and make a little bit of space by dropping down. If he can clear under Balk, they have an opportunity. But that's the thing, they have these ratty setups for a reason. These 2 players still just sat outside, ready and waiting. There's a grab well, he's gonna get scanned up, like just pulled into position. This should be a very easy close, but he did manage to get it to half. Unfortunately, BraveAF is still there at the end. 12-4, another huge round from him. He's had an incredible map. I genuinely think out of all of the servers I've seen recently on Ascent, he might be the best.
I'm so confused. I just saw, so he did grab well. Like, but I don't even think it was, I think it was too late. It
didn't look like it was in
even
time,
matter.
yeah.
I don't think it matters. That's just maybe a double shock dart setup from BraveAF. Either way, this dude is 22-8. And I reckon half of those kills have been, I reckon more than half those kills have been players he hasn't been able to see.
Not just wallbangs and shock dart kills.
Not even reconned and wallbanged them. I mean, this dude had no idea and he just killed them. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Oh no, this is a bad scenario for Izzy. He's going to get tagged up, and there you go, another one that's added to the collection. A player that he couldn't see, who's just gone down. Now the split looking to come through. They haven't checked for Brave. An opportunity, but he's going to have to go back with the pistol.
It's a wallbang.
Still does a hell of a lot. And while it's now left all on to Zisto, and Mystic is waiting. 13-4. Their opponent's map choice dominated by FNATIC, and while they're going to go 3-0 up, and I don't know if that does qualify them, but I think it brings them damn close.
Yeah, with the way they're playing.